I slept with my girlfriend's mom 2 years ago. I can't tell her because I know she'll dump me and it will probably end her parents' marriage. So let me first just say, I'm not the one in the wrong for this, but I have to say it's somewhere. It's eating me alive. 2 years ago, when I was 19, I met this woman while I was working as a personal trainer. She was in her 40s and looked like a 25-year-old. She took an interest in me and invited me out a number of times, and we had intimacy a few times. After one of our meetups, she said it was wrong for someone of her age to be with me because I was too young and changed gyms. My girlfriend and I have been together for just under a year. She's amazing and I love her so much. 2 months ago, I met her family for the first time and it was a shock. Like, she took me to the house where I had hooked up with a woman and I felt like I was being pranked. Before I see her mom, it hits me. I have a type and they both fit the type, so it makes sense. I've been hooking up with a single mom and I'm now with her daughter. Then her mom and dad pop out and we both almost ourselves. I meet her parents. They've been married for 20 years. I realize I had been a married woman's boy toy. I feel incredibly ashamed. Later that week, her mom finds my number and tells me that I can never speak of what happened. She says that my girlfriend will hate me forever because I'll be the one who broke up her parents. So now I'm stuck keeping this secret. She invited me to spend Thanksgiving and with her family, and since my family is 1,000 miles away and I already told her I don't plan on going home, I don't really have an excuse to not go. So now I'm going to have to sit there at the table and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with the woman I had an affair with, her husband and her daughter, whom I am now in love with. My wife gave me chlamydia. I am livid. The only person I had intimacy with within the past 5 years has been my wife. I thought I had a bladder infection or UTI and scoffed when my doctor thought it was chlamydia. Well, here we are. I got the test results yesterday and I have chlamydia. Decided to start snooping and it didn't take long to find the text messages between her and her boy toy. My guess is she doesn't even know she had it as well. She thinks I stayed up all night working, but little does she know I've already emailed her little lover boy's wife all the text messages. I want the lover boy's wife that he's been sleeping with an infected woman and to get herself tested. I'm still deciding how to process this all, but wife is going to wake up to my positive test results and the messages of her infidelity. The sun should be coming up in next hour or two and probably will be the end of this marriage update. I'll make a longer update eventually. I did not confront her that morning. Boito's wife ended up responding to me and she has not confronted her husband yet either. I am getting my legal basis covered first. Update. My last post got unexpected amount of attention. I guess you guys do deserve an update. The short of what happened was my wife gave me chlamydia. I found out she was sleeping with a co-worker and planned to blow out marriage up that night. Thankfully, my drunken mind decided to wait. I had gotten into contact with the co-worker's wife, giving her evidence of what was going on and informing her that the two cheaters probably both had chlamydia. I did this because I suspected my wife was cheating with more than one person. In her text, her lover boy had asked her if he was the only one she was screwing at the time, and she gave a non-answer. I know this dumb broad well enough that I knew she was screwing someone else as well. Luckily, the co-worker's wife got back to me first thing in the morning to explain that she figured he was seeing someone else. The two of them were privately separated at the time, and their separation agreement stated they were not to see anyone else at the time. She had her own suspicions and thanked me for reaching out. We agreed that she would not confront her husband until I could cover my own ass legally in exchange for the evidence I had of their affair together. She also confirmed to me that her husband didn't have chlamydia, at least when they were still together. I decided decided to not confront my wife that morning. I pretended everything was fine and dandy while I looked for lawyers and dug deeper to figure out the mystery of the chlamydia caper. I installed a keylogger on my wife's personal PC and quickly got access to a secret email where, guess what? My wife was talking with someone on a hookup website. The best part was that it solved the mystery, as the man informed her he tested positive for chlamydia and that she probably had it. Even better, these emails were from months before I was infected myself, meaning she knowingly infected me with chlamydia. Disappointed that it was not in fact the chlamydia fairy that caused all this, I have a lawyer. It's not looking well for my soon-to-be ex. The fact she knowingly infected me made my lawyer salivate, along with the mountain of proof of her infidelity. The house we live in is my parents', and we've kept our finances separate since the beginning. Her chances of getting much, if anything, out of me is pretty slim. I served her the divorce papers last month. I bought a security camera on Amazon when this all started, saying I was going to put it over our front door. I hid it in the living room. The morning I decided to confront her, I decided to take one of the top comments from my first post on how to drop this on her. We were sitting and having breakfast when I said, "So, I'm curious, does co-worker know you infected him with chlamydia as well?" The short of it was, she cried, apologized, tried to claim it was a one-time thing. I brought up that this was her second affair, tried to claim she loved me, tried to blame me, screamed at me that I don't make her feel loved. Yada yada, you get it. I served her the divorce papers and her eviction notice right after. I'm staying with my parents until she's out of the house in a few weeks just to be safe. I'm juggling if I want to try and press assault charges against her for knowingly infecting me with chlamydia. As my lawyer said, it should be pretty easy to prove with the emails we have. Overall though, I just want her out of my life, like the STD she is. I regret not making my marriage work, and now my ex-husband is happily remarried. When I was in my early 30s, I divorced my husband. We didn't have any major issues. Our relationship was just challenged after having kids. I was SAHM, and I expected him to do more of the housework and childcare when he worked full-time. He did help me when I asked, but I started to ask more of him, and I burned him out. I used to have him wrapped around my finger, and I used that as an advantage to get what I want. He eventually got tired of it. I started threatening to divorce him, and he said he knew the baby was just stressing us out and he will like to make it work. But when I was 30, I thought I was a great catch because I'm still very beautiful for my age and I lost my mom bad, so I thought I could do better than him. So I left him. I got our house in the divorce and we shared joint custody of our son. Fast forward, now I'm 41 and still single, and my ex-husband is 41 and got remarried to a 31-year-old woman who is incredibly beautiful. They had their daughter 3 years ago. He bought a new house. My son loves going to his dad's to spend time with his other family. And I'm not gonna lie, it makes me jealous. She has it all. She took my husband, she took my kid, she took my life that was once all mine. And all I have is the house we created our family in. And now I live in an empty house. I am 41. I gained 20 pounds, I've got wrinkles, and I'm alone and miserable. I've had short-term relationship after the divorce, but they never worked out. Men just don't want an old woman like me with a child, and I've noticed that men with kids just have a better time dating with kids than we do, and I hate it. I'm not happy anymore. I wish I could go back when I was younger and I would have stopped being so childish. Now I have such a miserable life. I work a useless job now, and I have to share custody of my son where he has to go spend time at my ex-husband's house with his new and improved wife. I feel like dumpster standing right next to her. My therapist said I should do something that will make me happy, like makeover since I'm reminiscing about how I looked so much and comparing myself to his new beautiful young wife. So I decided to get a new hairstyle and that didn't help. No matter what I do, I look like a middle-aged woman. This is probably the most honest I've ever been in a while. I just feel like crap. I wish I was a better wife over 10 years ago so I wouldn't be in this position. I know a lot of people on Reddit preach being alone and single, but honestly, this is not an ideal life or a life I would wish on my worst enemy. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and see you in the next video.